And there was a lot of tension, Now it's not good. That's why people are leaving the trucking industry. People are leaving Prime. That was one of the toughest times, I think, in trucking for us. You're going to have a lot of drivers leave because they can't hang. It's not just Prime. The freight is down everywhere. That's why people are hanging up the keys. You're going to get out of this asphalt, what you put on it. Now we are where we are. Make no mistake, I don't apologize for anything I say on this channel. I never will. YouTube. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? This is going to be the part 2 of the empty trucks, no bucks video. And there were a few things that I had left out of that video, so we're going to go over those. And I'm also going to answer some comments and address some comments here. I've got Mama with me, so she's going to be chiming in. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and apologize from the get-go because it's going to be a little bit long. But I think there's some things that need to be said. And I think you guys we need to kind of all have a come to Jesus meeting, if you know what I mean. So we're going to start off with how things are at Prime. I'm going to address that a little bit more, the freight situation, and we're also going to talk more about why drivers are leaving Prime. So let's address that first. Dick Dickerson 417 on our part 1 camera video that we did, and I'll put a link to that in the corner here. He says, a lot of drivers I talked to said they're leaving because on May 10th, they are announcing inward cameras for the whole fleet. Dick, that may be the case. There may be people driving, leaving because of the cameras, but I'll go ahead and tell you now, guys, if you're leaving because of the cameras, make sure you do it professionally with Prime. You don't want to do, I think a lot of people here, they tend to act as an individual instead of a business. And they don't conduct themselves accordingly or professionally. So I think that's why a lot of drivers have the issues that they have. But if you're leaving because of those cameras, let me tell you guys something before you do that. You need to really outweigh the pros and cons of Prime and the situation that you're in, first of all. Number 2, you need to realize that Prime's not a pioneering entity in this whole camera war that's going on right now with these trucking companies. There are major companies all over the United States, of the world, that are using these inward facing cameras. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, Mama's probably gonna chime in on this too. I'm not a fan of these. I don't support it. I'm not with it. But there's one thing that is true. Robert Lowe built this company with one truck over 50 years with his family to what this company is today. If he's gotten with the higher ups and he wants cameras in these trucks, it's going to happen. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. Now, what's my reason for not agreeing with it? It's not the privacy aspect. It's not the this is my cab, my home thing. Because guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, there's way more pressing issues than that. You need to look at the accidental liability factor with these cameras. There's not been one accident that I've been involved in my personal vehicle or my trucks, or that I know of, anybody else that I've known, that has an outward facing dash cam that has not been resolved directly from that footage, saying, hey, the driver of the CMV was the responsible party, or the other driver, the other CMV or the passenger vehicle was the responsible party. That outward facing dash cam has always been able to prove who was at fault. Okay, especially if it caught it on footage, and obviously, if you get rear-ended from behind or something, you don't have a camera facing that way, it's a different story. But not once has it not been able to prove who was at fault. Never needed an inward-facing dash cam. Okay. Now, if an accident happens and that camera that's inside that cab says, hey, obviously that lady was drunk and she T-boned that truck, but the camera said that that driver was distracted looking out the left window, making that left turn at that red light. Just because the camera says he was distracted doesn't necessarily mean he was distracted. The driver was watching his tail swing on his trailer. He was watching where his tandems were coming next to that car that was in that adjacent lane. So just because a piece of technology that's man-made said that that driver was distracted does not necessarily mean he was distracted. But it also does not necessarily mean that he wasn't. Now, that drunk driver T-bones that CMV, and that plaintiff's lawyer, the family's lawyer, makes the case about that distracted notification on the camera. He can make a reasonable doubt statement and say, hey, it's fair to say that if that driver wasn't looking out of that left window and wasn't distracted like that camera said, he probably could have stopped in time to avoid that crash. Yes, that other driver might have hit somebody else, but he wouldn't have hit that CMV. That's a liability factor.
Well, it's not only that. Let's say you're not really doing anything wrong. You're just looking in your mirror to get over in the left lane, and so the camera is thinking that you're driving perfect. Somebody hits you on the right. You have a good lawyer that says, well, you're a professional driver. You should be defensive driving. You should have been constantly watching, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you could have prevented this, because it's on the drivers to not only drive safe and not hit anyone else, but to prevent anyone from hitting them. Because now drivers are at fault even if they're not. I mean, if a lawyer can twist something and say, well, I believe that had you done something different, even though you did nothing per se wrong, but I feel like you could have still prevented this by doing something else. You know, it was like, you're the professional, you should have been defensive driving. You could have per se prevented this. And if it goes to trial and he cons 10 other people that don't drive semis into believing that, hey, that truck driver could have prevented it. Yeah, he wasn't at fault, but he could have prevented it. Prime's still going to get sued. The driver's still going to lose their job, and the driver could still go to jail when the driver technically did nothing wrong. It's just a good lawyer thinks that you could have done something different.
Just because a piece of technology said so.
Yes.
And let's be honest, the judicial system is all about winning the case. They're not about what's right and what's wrong.
It's about money.
It is about money. It's
not
winning
about
that
what's
case.
right.
So, and that's why CMV drivers are targeted daily for lawsuits, because a lot of these passenger vehicles know that there are lawyers out there that will go after us cutthroat to get that money from those big carriers. They're not going to come sue my LLC because they can't get anything from me. I don't even own this truck yet, but they are going to go after Prime. So, guys, I think Prime's looking at it as a safety factor, total safety factor. It's not really they're trying to micromanage us. I really feel, and like I said, you guys can say what you want about what I'm saying.
Everyone has an opinion. Just like we haven't really met a lot of people with our opinion on this.
Exactly. My thing is I don't like it, but I do love Prime. I love where we're at. I love what we're doing. My thing is I see their side of it as well. It's gonna coerce drivers to be better drivers. It's gonna try to
not be distracted.
It's gonna make them, force them to have better driving habits. I get all that. Okay, you got to look at every side of it. But I also get the privacy invasion part, and I also get the liability factor part with the accidents. So not one time has an officer that I was in an accident that I was involved in writing the report and say, hey, where's that driver facing camera at? I know you've showed me the outward footage, but where's your driver facing camera? But now that they know that they will be in the fleet trucks, in the entire fleet, they're going to be asking for that footage every single time. You mark my word.
Well, the wrecks that you were in, they weren't like, well, I see you did nothing wrong, and I see that the other person was totally at fault. But just out of curiosity, what were you doing? Like, no one's ever said that to us.
Not
Claims,
once.
Not the cops, nothing. It's been, hey, look, the camera plainly shows this person ran into you. You did nothing wrong. You know, they're getting the ticket. You're off. And now I feel like it's going to be something. Well, you know, look at it already where drivers break down on the side of the road, and they're stuck there on the side of the road, cones out and everything. Someone falls asleep and hits them. Yeah. Oh, well, if the driver would have, you know, lawyers twist it. Oh, if the driver would have done a better pre-trip, could they have prevented that truck from breaking down?
They wouldn't have been on the side of the road, yeah.
And then, my family member, you know, would have still fallen asleep, but maybe not hit that truck, and they'd have had a chance to rebound from it.
Yep. So, Dick, that's a good point. And just like the cameras, there's a lot of other things. There's probably 100 different things drivers have left Prime over. Some leave because there's not a load board. Others leave because they want duals on their truck. They want to be ungoverned. There's a lot of reasons that drivers leave, okay? But right now in this market, okay, the strong is going to survive. We've already seen hundreds of trucking companies. You guys watch the CDL life threads. Watch the Freight Waves threads. You will see companies going out of business left and right. JB Hunt just let go of 350 drivers. Okay, just the other day. I mean, it happens every single day. Companies are tanking. Okay, they're having to make cutbacks. We're in the highest expense cost in the industry as drivers. It takes so much to run these trucks, and people can't make it right now.
UPS let a lot of drivers go after they just reconfigured that contract with the union.
Some people just can't hang. That's all there is to it. Not saying that Prime's doing a bad or a good job of everything. They've done a great job with us. No, we're not making what we're used to making, but we're not starving either. I mean, it's staying consistent. You know, I don't have anything to complain about, guys. And a lot of times, you guys see the Bible verses. You know, me and Mama, you know, we are Christian, and I do put a lot on God for that. So, I mean, I thank him for that too. So he's keeping us blessed and keeping us down to earth. So Dick, thank you for your comment, man. God bless. We're going to go to the next one here from High on Cash. He says, people are leaving Prime because it sucks. It's pretty simple. Having fancy gyms at the terminals doesn't pay my bills. I left for a dedicated job at another mega carrier, and I couldn't be happier. High on Cash, first of all, that's fantastic, man. I'm glad to hear that you're happy, and I hope that it's working out for you. I hope that you're doing better than you were at Prime, or I hope you're doing better than we are, okay? 100%. But just because you had that experience doesn't mean that everybody has that experience. And that's what this whole channel is founded on, is our experiences through what we do every single day here with Prime to help people have a benchmark, a visual, an audio, something to go by to say, hey, look, it can be done over there. And there's a lot of people in the comments that are going to say, man, I do way better than you. And that's fantastic. I hope you do. I hope every single driver out there is doing better than us, because that means that there's light at the end of the tunnel, man. That means there's more to grow, you know.
We got something to strive for.
Exactly. That means we've got something to work for, okay? Because guess what? We're all out here to get all we can get. That's the bottom line. And for anybody that hates on anybody else's success just because they're not doing what they're doing, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. That's the problem with the old school trucker mentality, man. The old school trucker brotherhood mentality. Man, you'd have a truck break down on the side of the road, and you'd have 5 of them behind them trying to help him fix his truck. Now you can't even get one truck to move out of the right lane for the guy that's broke down in the right shoulder. Guys, it's terrible. It's cutthroat out here. It's really, I've never seen an industry that is so lucrative but so greedy at the same time. I mean, it's terrible. And it's per driver. Like, it's me. Whether it's trying to get to the fuel pump first or trying to get past each other first in a traffic jam. I mean, it is cutthroat out here. It really is. So High on Cash, I hope you're doing as good as you can, man. I hope you're doing better, and I hope you're happy. But just because it didn't work out for you at Prime doesn't mean that it's not working out for other people either, man. So try not to tread on their success or their path, man, into trucking, no matter what company they're going for, what they're driving, or what they're hauling. We got Cody Fulson 365. He says, I've been putting up numbers with a trainee. Wait times and deadheads are crazy right now. Might have a 3K mile load that takes 5 days of training truck running as a team truck, and other 2 days will start the net setting up for the next week. It is. We're seeing it too. We're seeing the wait times on the front and the back ends of the load. Right now is not an ideal weekend for us right now. We had a load cancel on us that we were counting on, and we're on another load that's not putting us in a good area like we wanted to, and it's not what we wanted money-wise. But you know what? It's our best option right now, and we're going to run it. I'm not going to sit around for 2 days all weekend long waiting on something better when I can be making money right now and possibly get my loads off early. So Cody, thank you for relating, man, and God bless you, man. It's going to pick up. I really truly feel it will.
Just some advice to give him, like, call the shippers. Like, don't just say, oh, it doesn't pick up till tomorrow. Like, that's, Will and I are having to hustle because we are running a lot of solo stuff. So like this one right here, like, call the shippers and
be
say,
proactive.
can I get in early? And
Yep.
most of the time they're like, yeah, it's first come, first serve, or yeah, we can squeeze you in early, especially if you're really nice. And the other day we wound up delivering a load a whole nother day early. I called and said, listen, we're not supposed to be there till in the morning, but I can be there in like 2 hours, you know, I'm 2 hours out from you. I was very nice, very professional, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, just come on in. I'll go and take you. And that made it to where we could get a whole nother load off. Like, you,
and this was a small little place out in PA, really tiny. Yeah, it was really tiny.
Just
PA.
don't look at just the appointment times and think, well, I can't go in early or I can't deliver. Just try. Especially if you're training and you have those 2 clocks, go on and use them to go on in and just show up and be like, hey, if they say something to you, I know I'm not supposed to be here tomorrow, but I figured I would try.
There's no harm in calling.
So many
trying,
times
I
haven't been able to get people on the phone, but we just pull in and try, and they're like, you know what, we're not busy, we'll go on and get you.
Wise man once said, ask for forgiveness, not permission.
That's right.
So
you have to be proactive, though.
You do, yeah.
Don't just sit back and think, oh man, I'm stuck on this for
just because that
long.
appointment time says that, I'm stuck with it, you know.
Yeah.
That brings us to our next comment, and she's going to relate on this too. Charles Coleman 8455 says, I hear that freight will rebound hopefully within the next 2 quarters. That's what I'm hearing too, Charles. Run smart, run efficient, and tighten up. We'll roll out of this bloodbath, no problem.
That was a positive comment.
It was a positive comment. It's not negative,
that's
Charles.
Good to see.
Thank you so much.
That's something for everyone to,
yep. And I wanted
see.
to tell too, Cody Folsom, thank you for your comment too that we just read. But yeah, Charles, I'm with you 100%. I'm hearing good things for the next 2 quarters. I'm hearing that things are going to bounce back. And yes, you do need to run smart, like we were just talking about. Run efficient and tighten up. Guys, the one thing about the market now and the way the industry is, you have to start getting comfortable about being uncomfortable. Okay, that includes running places that you don't normally run, possibly hauling freight that you don't normally haul, repositioning on that crappy load to get to that better load instead of just sitting and waiting on a better load to roll around. Our options are limited, and if you think for 1 second that this is just happening at Prime, you're the most naive person out here on the asphalt, because it's everywhere. It really is.
Every time we stop, we're talking to different drivers from different companies.
All the time, networking. And guys, everybody's seeing, now obviously you're going to have these few niche markets that are like not feeling the hit so bad, but I truly feel like for our situation, we're in the best area we could possibly be in right now with the contract freight market, because spot market is not doing well. If you're watching any of these other YouTube channels that analyze spot market rates, you could tell they're not doing great at all.
I forgot to tell the Cody
Fulson
comment to also take advantage of being under a mega carrier. And if you go through a terminal, like let's say you've got something for, like we did, from Washington to New York, and it had like 3 or 4 more days on it than what we want to sit on it. Take advantage of us having terminals and us being able to repower each other's loads.
Yeah,
drop it off at a yard and have someone else take that load in for you, and you take another load that's ready to go right now.
Reach out to your
It's
FM,
gonna crap. Yeah, it's gonna pay crap. It's a small repower, but it lets you hurry up and get out of that repower.
Because what's the truth about the industry?
Drop that load.
No matter what you're driving or who you're driving for, time is money.
Yeah.
So if you're having to sit on a load and wait, even though that load might not pay out this week, if you can go ahead and get it off your back now and get on another load and keep moving, you're being efficient. You're being as efficient as you can. That's a huge perk
about our company, is that we're not married to a trailer. We're not stuck with whatever's in the trailer. We're stuck with it. No, we can have it repowered. We can get someone else to move it. We'll move someone else's load, and then bam, we're rolling again. That saved us last week, because we wound up getting to the Pittston terminal on Wednesday, and that load wasn't due until Sunday in New York.
Yep.
And we took a little short hop that night and kept rolling.
So guys, like Charles said, run smart, run efficient, and tighten up. Start cutting expenses, guys, and start maximizing on your efficiency, whether it's how you run your truck, where you buy your fuel, whatever it is. Make sure that you are doing everything you can. Because if I've ever had an issue with Prime about my revenue, which has happened quite a few times, and you guys might be surprised to hear this, because I am a Prime advocate because they've been so good to us, I deny a lot of loads. I really do. If it doesn't fit the truck or it doesn't fit our needs, I won't take it unless it's the absolute last resort. And that's where good communication with your FM comes into play, guys. You guys have to reach out and talk to them. If they don't feel like you have a problem with it, they're not gonna ask you if you have a problem with it. But if you have a problem with it, another reason that people are leaving Prime is because of how they act. Guys, if
they don't know how to be professional.
Exactly. If you have this mentality that your fleet manager works for you and Prime works for you because you're an owner operator, whoever's filled your head with that crap, you got the wrong mentality, brother.
Well, don't think denying loads is ultimately going to get you something better either. There's been times we denied loads and then we're like, man, we should have took that. Yep. Like just this past week we had that happen.
There's been a lot of times where my fleet manager's not in, it's night dispatch or something, and they either don't know or they don't have full control over the stuff like my fleet manager does. And sometimes I'll reach out to them and say, hey, we got anything better? We're looking to have this right here for this dime frame or whatever. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Don't be afraid to ask. But don't just kick a load back and be like, hey, man, that's garbage.
Don't be a jerk about it.
Yeah, that's garbage. And before you want to take that trash, throw it in the garbage can. Like, don't be like that, man. Like, nobody's got time for that. You got to realize this company is managing so many people, so many trucks, so many different customers. It's insane the stuff that they have to go through. I'm not making excuses for them, but guys, you guys have to deal with 1 or 2 people a day. These people are dealing with hundreds of people a day. It's nuts. So be professional, and if you carry yourself right and you are doing the right thing, you're doing what you need to be doing, you won't have any issues, or you'll have minimal issues. I really feel like these people out here that are at Prime or any other carrier that act that way unprofessionally and act entitled like that and have that ego trip going, you burn those bridges, you start those fires. Who's going to do you any favors? Nobody's going to want to work with you.
No one wants to be talked down to.
There's a reason there's a term professional driver. Not just driver, not just operator, professional driver. Be the professional driver. Be the better driver. Take the high road. Believe me, it pays off.
And you can be professional and stand up for yourself and your business. But another thing to Cody's comment is getting out of, if you have yourself tied down to a certain area, you may have to get out of it. Like us, we've realized in the past few weeks that we're going to have to, in order to keep moving and stop sitting so much, we're going to have to start going west of the Rockies and stuff.
Right, yep.
We've had to make changes on our truck.
We usually stay in the Eastern 38, east of Denver, and we've started going out west, and, you know, it's been lucrative. It's been paying off, and, you know, we got to do what we got to do, man,
make changes. You can't
to
say,
make it work, yeah.
You know, people that are leaving Prime and they're mad about the revenue, you know, are you just wanting to be Southeast Regional, or are you just limiting yourself? Because that'll hurt you.
So that brings us to our next comment. Everything Rich, EL7HU. He says, I thought you were different than other Prime drivers, but then you showed your hand. You guys are on here subliminally recruiting. And then I guess somebody commented, Notch Nate says, that's all they do. YouTube trucker content is flooded with these clowns. For every one decent trucking video, you have to scroll through 5 Prime videos with dramatic clickbait titles. I don't think it was clickbait at all. I mean, that's what the video was about, and that's what the video is about now. And you're not scrolling through it, are you, Notch? You stopped and you watched the video, and you even took the time to read comments and then make your own comment. There's no scrolling, brother. You're actually paying attention. So you can think I'm a clown all you want, but I'm gonna tell you guys something right now, to every single one of you watching this video and who are on my channel, who are subs or not subs. I will never apologize for what I say, how I feel, what my opinions are on this channel, ever. This whole channel is to bring you guys factual information through our experiences and knowledge in trucking and in Prime. It's to give somebody a better foot forward in the industry, whether they're coming to Prime or not. So this whole recruiting comment, I'm just out here subliminally recruiting. You see my driver code in the bottom right-hand corner of this video. That's part of the system at play. That's what we have to work with. You have no idea the hours that I spend on phone calls. I'm usually driving at 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You know, if my shift, I like running 8.5s. So I like keeping recaps. But if my shift rolls over past midnight, I'll usually run it out. If I don't have to stop and take a nap first and Mama gets ill with me and she starts driving. But I stay on the phone for hours with these guys. Hours. With not only new, interested drivers, wannabe drivers that want to come to Prime, but drivers that have been at other companies. Or have been at Prime before, drivers that are already here. Guys, I don't get paid for this stuff. Prime doesn't reach out to me and be like, hey man, we know you talked to 50 drivers this month. We really appreciate it. Here's $1,000. No. This referral, I didn't set this referral program up with Prime. This is something they did.
Prime, but the referral is so small. Most companies have got a $2,000 referral bonus. It is a very small. It's like $100 if they get hired. Maybe $500 after 6 months or something. I mean, yeah.
That referral program, I mean, it pays out like in stages. You know, I mean, it's $100 if they stay for 30 days, $500 if they stay for 6 months. I think it's $1,000 if they stay for a year. Guys, half these guys don't even make it through orientation.
They don't even make it through the initial hiring process. Yeah. I know Dustin calls you all the time.
Everybody thinks Prime is so easy to get on with. Man, they vet these guys seriously. I mean, I had a guy that was an experienced driver. He'd been driving for 20 years trying to come for Prime. And he forgot to tell them that he worked for Swift at one time for 2 weeks and quit because it just wasn't a good fit. And he forgot to tell them about it. They canceled his application. He was already approved to go and everything.
You had people in orientation being let go because they had found something that they missed out on.
I get these calls from these guys all the time telling me about this stuff. When I tell you guys I don't make my money off referrals, that's what I mean. I don't make my money off referrals at all. So everybody thinks that it's just like I'm out here pushing referrals. You've got my code in the bottom right corner of every video. If you want to use it, you can. The link to my recruiter's application is in the bottom in the description. You can use it if you want. So I'll go ahead and tell you everything, Rich. If you don't like what I'm saying or you don't like what's on this channel, you don't have to watch it, brother. Nobody's making you. For some reason, I've noticed there's a lot of the super trucker types or the types that are anti-Prime, anti-mega carrier, but they watch this channel. I don't understand. Like, what is that? Like, if I don't like something, I don't watch it. Like, are you guys that bored? Like, or that, like, just lack of entertainment in your life that
y'all are sitting too much. Y'all need to
yeah, you got too much time when you guys must be sitting more than me, because I mean,
what company are y'all going to?
Exactly, like, and that's another thing too. You guys
want to go there.
Exactly, you guys, and see, that's the thing about it is I'm probably one of the few YouTube guys that don't push referrals. I tell everybody everything. Do your research. Go to other channels. Go fact check what I'm telling you. Go talk to other companies. See what they have to offer you. Everybody wants Prime. Everybody expects just because this channel's here or other Prime channels here, that Prime's some one answer, unicorn, one-off company, perfect company. It's not. It's just like every other company. It has its pros and it has its cons. You have to remember that. The problem with the industry today is nobody has any open mind. Everybody thinks just one direct line.
Well, I've heard of other YouTubers trying to blackmail people. Oh, you know, you put me down for a referral, I'll train you, but if you don't, I'm not. And,
yeah.
You know, oh, I'm not going to talk to you and help you with your business if you didn't put me down as a referral.
You can scroll through comments and see. Go ahead, babe. Sorry.
I'm saying you don't do anything like that.
I'll scroll through comments.
People come out asking to train you, for you to train them and stuff. And
exactly.
Like,
and I'll tell them, man, I wish I could train everybody, but I just can't. You know, I've got, you know, me and Mom are teaming right now, so it's hard to do any kind of training right now because she's on the truck with me, and you know, we got our thing going on. And believe me, if I ever go back to training, I'll be training. But I can't train every single person that asks me to do it, and I don't expect them to put me down as a driver referral.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many people that have called me and said, man, you know, I wish I would have used you as a referral. And I said, it's no problem. If you have any questions or comments, you need something, my number's in the bottom of every video. My email's in the bottom of every video. Reach out. Because the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. And there are a lot of other people like me that are on YouTube or not on YouTube that are willing to do the same. We're not, might be a rarity in this day and age, but we're not non-existent. We're not extinct. Okay, there's a lot of drivers out here. I don't know everything. I can't stress that enough. This channel is not a I know everything channel. This channel is a, hey, here's my experience. This will give you something to give you a guideline to go by. This will give you somebody else's real experience, real facts to go by. Use it as you will. So like I said before, mistake, I don't apologize for anything I say on this channel. I never will. And I don't care who likes it and who doesn't. If you don't like it, that's fine.
And the referral also helps them, because when they do call Dustin, they can say, I've already been reaching out to some Prime drivers. I've already been reaching out to Will.
It shows Prime that you're real. Like you've
been
the
doing
real
your
deal.
Research on them.
And you're serious about it. You got to understand how much money and time is wasted by this company, by people that come and they're just like, nah, I didn't like trucking anyways. I think 3 weeks is enough. I'm out of here. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Once you guys get vetted and you're employed, you're getting paid $900 a week, whether you're sitting in a hotel or you're driving these trucks. It doesn't matter. Prime's putting the bill for it. So guys, they're paying good money to train guys.
Home and they make $900 a week while sitting at home.
Exactly. And I've had guys that say, hey man, you know, I'll tell them at the end of my conversations with them, I'll say, hey, if you guys haven't used a referral yet, even if you're not using mine, use somebody's, because that lets Prime know that you're serious. My recruiter, it's not like some kind of standard procedure or anything, but Dustin will tell you, I look for those guys with those referral codes first, because that lets me know they've been doing their research. They've been talking to our drivers. They know what they're coming in to get. I want those guys, because those are the ones that are going to stick. Okay, not all of them, but 9 times out of 10, those guys will stick. So I'm not making my money off referrals. I'm not paying my mortgage with referral money. It's like lunch money, if that. Guys, you're going to get out of this asphalt what you put on it. And that's where I make my money's on the asphalt. It ain't on this YouTube, and it ain't on referrals. I don't get paid for this. I make roughly about $1.52 a video is what I make in average. It's not a lot of money, guys. So everything Rich and Notch Nate, hate you guys feel that way, man. But I do appreciate your comment.
Y'all are so proud of your companies, and you're going to bash someone else.
Post it up. Yeah, post it up.
If you're going to bash someone for being proud of their company and what they've achieved at a company, and they want to help others come achieve the same goals we've achieved, you know, like post up your company.
Right. Post it up.
You try to get people to come, you know, to your company and make good money, and you help them and hold their hand along the way and answer phone calls 24/7 and text.
I got guys that'll call me while I'm sleeping. I got guys that'll call me while I'm driving. I mean, you know, and I've made myself available. That's what I signed up for. Because when I came into Prime, as soon as I was able to train, I trained, because I wanted to give somebody their best foot forward in the industry. I wanted to give them my best start that I thought that I could give them. And I got better as a trainer every single trainee. I used to tell my guys, I don't know everything, but if I don't know it, we'll find out together. Okay? And those guys taught me more than I taught them. That's what the training is all about. It's about growing together. Okay, I know we need to get paid as much as we can. I know we all want to get as much as we can. That's the name of the game out here. But if you're doing things for the right reason, the money's going to come. Okay, and another thing about it is I don't expect anything in this industry. I don't expect anybody to hand anything to me. I don't expect anybody to give me anything that's not owed to me. I expect what I am worth and what I've worked. That's what I expect. If I've done the work, I expect to be paid for it, bottom line. So guys, that's something you got to keep in mind. And if you're not with the channel, you don't like what I'm saying, you don't like what's on here, I'm totally fine if you guys don't watch. But guys, every negative comment you guys leave that you're deterring somebody else from starting a career. You're deterring somebody else from their path.
And most of you don't even know anything about Prime. You just know what you've been told or what you hear. You're just mad.
My brother's uncle, sister's cousin didn't make it back in '95. The lease program was a scam. You know, just because one person didn't make it, 100 people didn't make it, doesn't mean it's a scam. Look how big this company is. It's taken 50 years to get this way. I don't think they got that way by screwing people every single day. Everybody gets mad about Rob Lowe making money. Or do you not expect to make money? Are you not out here trying to make money? How can you hate on that man for wanting to make money and you're out here trying to make money? And you're hating on me for making money the way that I make it. The thing about it is, I don't care. I don't care what you think. Okay? And for those of you that do support the channel, I thank you very much. And I do appreciate it 100%. But I'm not out here to make friends. I was out here to do this to help people, to give them a better light towards whatever tunnel they're trying to go down. I'll be the first one to tell you, don't take everything on this channel for fact check it. Go to other places, look at other channels, talk to other companies. Don't just talk to Prime.
Because don't just talk to people. That's the problem, is you can't trust anybody for their word. If someone says they're making 6 figures a year, say, show me your numbers, show me your statements. And most people will not. I mean, if you talk to most people, they're killing it out here. But when you ask for proof, oh, well, you know, no.
When it comes down to that black and white, everybody shies away from that, don't they? And nobody wants to put those numbers up.
We show everything. But
so for all of you out here talking about how bad Prime sucks and how great it is in your company, why don't you drop the address and the phone number of your company and your referral code so you can give somebody their best start. Don't just make negative comments and run off to another video. Actually help people. That's what the Brotherhood of Trucking should still be about. And unfortunately, it's not. So it should go back that way, but it's not. So do the right thing, do the next right thing, and you'll always be doing the right thing. So guys, 14 of you like this Everything Riches comment. I feel bad for you guys. If you guys actually think that, I feel bad for you. You've missed the entire content of the channel. And I just, I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but it is what it is, man. And I hate it for you. So we're going to move on to the next comments.
It's a horrible mentality when we never discuss. It
is. We're going to go. Yeah, we're going to go to another one. Yeah, like I'm going to be ashamed for referrals. I mean, this is. Well, I didn't make the referral system.
I mean, how many videos do we have where we're like preaching referrals?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like, man, if you guys are coming to Prime, you better use my code. You better don't call me if you're not using my code. Give me a break.
Like, we don't even mention it except for like 2 seconds at the end of your video. Hey, if you're thinking about coming to Prime or want to come to Prime, you know, use my referral code if you don't.
Well, I've only mentioned it in a couple videos, but I have a tag that sits in the bottom left. You don't watch my videos, so you don't know.
I know.
But
I know about
you don't
the
know.
tag. I know about the tag.
You're just part of them. You just don't watch them, and that's fine.
I hear them. I hear them in the back when I'm sleeping.
Do you? You hear them? You hear them going down?
No, I hear you.
You hear them going down?
I hear you talking.
I hear you talking.
I already know what you're saying in your video.
Yeah. Apparently these two guys don't either. So we've got the next one, and this goes right along with this other guy's. Scott Mung 8763 says, I feel dumber having watched half the video. That time when truckers shouldn't post videos. Once again, Scott, I don't know what your motive is here on the channel, but what made you feel dumber? The fact that we're talking about why drivers are leaving Prime and what you need to do to try to stay above water in this industry? Like, what made you feel dumber? What was it? I mean, the time when truckers shouldn't post videos. Before you commented on this video, there's 200 plus videos that you haven't watched. So if a few minutes of one video makes your entire judgment about me, dude, do everybody a favor and get off the channel. Like, seriously. Because this is another negative comment. Just because I'm not doing what you feel like we should be doing, or I'm not doing the same thing that you're doing, doesn't mean that this video was a waste, and it doesn't mean that it wasn't worth somebody watching it. If it helped one person, if it was a positive light for one person, it was worth it. And that's what we started YouTubing. Because when I realized that I love training, I realized that, hey man, I could do this YouTube and reach a lot more people and help them out. And that's what the whole channel's about. So I hate that you don't like it, but guess what? Once again, no apologies, man. I don't care. I hate you feel that way, but it doesn't bother me one bit. I just hope it didn't do any damage for anybody else that was looking at Prime or trucking period and thought of it as a way, you know, to change careers or to change their lifestyle.
Well, people definitely speak for themselves. For anybody thinking about coming to trucking, they see how cutthroat other drivers are.
They are, yeah.
Just by reading other people's comments and their negativity.
Yep. I mean, and you can see it in these truck stops too, man. I can't tell you how many times me and Ames park and we're waiting for the next morning to drop or pick up, and we'll sit there and watch these old cats in these long hood trucks. I mean, these trucks that are non-ELD, you know, they're non-deaf. They're out here watching these young cats try to back in with their phones, waiting to make a TikTok video. You know, what happened to the brotherhood of trucking? You getting out and helping each other. You know, there was a post on Facebook the other day that they were picking on another driver in a Prime group that had gotten let go from Prime, had their contract terminated, and messing with this person. And they said, well, imagine you bragging about your numbers at Prime, grossing $260,000 and only bringing home $65,000. I read everybody else's comment. Everybody was playing on it, of course. You know, just picking, like, it's almost like elementary school. It's like you're picking on somebody. Just,
you
got a whole
teach our
group of
children
people.
not to bully.
Yeah, we're teaching our kids not to bully
But
and
yeah.
do the right thing. But yeah, we got adults out here doing the same thing. So I thought about it for a while, and I wasn't going to comment. And I said, you know what? No, I got to do something, because nobody was saying anything positive to this person. So I got on there and I said, imagine a world where instead of kicking each other when we're down, we actually have enough integrity to lift each other up when they need it. I said, imagine that world. Imagine us minding our own business and helping others when they need to be helped. That's exactly what it's supposed to be about. Like I said earlier, you can't even get a driver to get out of the right lane if you're broke down on the right shoulder. And for you guys to come in here on this channel, you hate Prime, you hate what I'm about, but you're still sitting here watching, you're still commenting. What does that say about you? And if you act like this on social media, I can only imagine what you guys are acting like out on these truck stops. And once again, I will never apologize for anything that you hear on this channel unless I was wrong about something. If I was wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong, because I don't know everything, and I never will. And the day that any driver thinks that they do, you need to hang those keys up, because you're a danger to yourself and everybody else around you. So, Scott Mung, 8763, man, hope you had some brain cells left, brother, if you feel dumber after watching half that video. The freight is down everywhere. You would be crazy to think that it's not. It's not just Prime. It's everywhere. Everybody's experiencing the hit. We've seen companies go out of business back to back to back to back to back. I mean, boom, boom, boom. And Prime still got us cooking. You're going to have a lot of drivers leave because they can't hang. A lot of these drivers came in during the COVID time. Everything was great.
You're going to have a lot of drivers leave because they don't want to get out of their comfort zone either. They don't want to leave their regional position.
Or it wasn't what they expected. You know, they can't handle it. Their family back at home, their family situation at home's not built for trucking. Everybody's different.
And that's okay. You're not a failure.
You're not.
When we first started, that was our agreement. And when you left, that was our agreement, is if this wasn't working out. And
for everybody.
Yeah, like our family couldn't deal with it. Yeah, if I ever said, hey, look, you need to come home, that was the agreement.
And guys, I'm going to tell you, man, it was tough. It was tough. It took me and Angel, there's a lot of stuff about us that you guys don't know, but we have been together for almost 20 years. And we had been together for, what, 12 of those when I started trucking? 12 or 13? We've spent one night apart from each other. We worked together, we lived together, we loved together, we laughed together, everything. We fought together. We were all each other new for 12 years. With our kids, our lives, our families. It was tough. It was beyond tough. I was crying like a baby in the back of my trainer's cab during TNT, missing my wife and my kids. It was insane. It was monotony for us. We thought that, like, you have no idea how selfish I felt turning around and walking away from them at that airport. I just felt like, I'm making the worst mistake ever. And I prayed to God, we both prayed to God, like, if this is where you want us, let it be, you know? Show us the way. And we're still here. 7 years later. I'll be starting my 8th year May 17th.
And nothing is as we planned it. We planned.
No,
the
definitely
agreement
not.
was he came in. He already had his CDL. The agreement was he came in. He did a year as a company driver, and he came home and found something local. In TNT training, he decided he wanted to do lease. So then we were like, okay, well, we're going to do our 1 year as leased, where me and the kids can pop on and off. We'll have more freedom. That he can't be told no, he can't come home, or only so many days home. So that 1 year into a lease turned into, well, let's finish the lease. Well, finishing a lease turned into, well, let's do another lease. And then another lease turned into a purchase.
Well, at the end of that first lease, we were building our house. And
no, middle of second lease.
No, it wasn't.
The yellow ones when we were building it. Oh, you're right. You're right.
See? It's been so long she doesn't even remember.
That's right, we were turning in green.
Yep, and that lender told us you can't make any huge purchases and you can't have any differentiation in income. So we had to stay running. I ran from May to October, nonstop.
But that's because we were building.
We were building, yeah. If we would have
bought
an existing build, it would have been like 45 days, would have been closed.
Yeah.
But building, that's one thing I can tell you guys. If you guys are 1099, nobody's going to touch you without 2 years of successful, positive revenue, 1099. And my advice to you is, unless you just want to be on the road for 6-8 months straight, do not build a house. Buy a new one that's already built, but don't build a house. You build a house, I'm telling you, man, that was tough. That was one of the toughest times, I think, in trucking for us, because there was a lot of tension. We thought the house was never going to get done.
We lost the first house. We did have one that was already built, and we were set to close on it within 30 days. And 2 weeks into it, the drunk driver in New Jersey or something hit you.
Right.
And so we had to set the truck down, and the lender was like, well, how long are you going to be out of work? We're like, we don't know how long it's going to take for the truck to get fixed. And it wound up taking 2 weeks. So the house went in contingency and we lost it. Someone else came up and got it. And I was like, we're done. I don't want to buy a house. That was heartbreak. And then I don't know what, a year later is when
the real estate agent called her. And when COVID hit, when COVID was in full swing, nobody was working but drivers. That's all we were working, because when the shutdowns happened, everybody went home. And all they did was spend money, frivolously, just spent money. I mean, it did the exact opposite. Everybody's like, man, the market's going to tank. We're going to be out of a job. We're not going to be able to work. We're going to all have to go home. It did the exact opposite. And a lot of you came in during that time, during COVID. And it was good. It was really good. I mean, I've never seen so much money in my entire freaking life. So good. And you guys got used to that. And you spent money. You made money. And you spent money. And you made money. Now you don't have any money. Well, now it's not good. Now we are where we are. And that's why people are leaving Prime. That's why people are leaving the trucking industry. That's why people are hanging up the keys.
Well, it's not like that. People came in and they bought one truck and they were like, oh my gosh, we need 3 trucks.
Overgrown.
Started, fleets.
You grew way too fast.
Bought trucks from Prime and then went into the spot market and was making it great. But
don't get me wrong. I don't hate on anybody who wants to be an owner-operator. I don't hate on anybody who wants to take that chance, take those risks, and be your own boss. Do your own thing. Pull your own freight. Have your own insurance, your own trailer. Guys, if you can do it, do it. Okay? 100%. I'm not that driver that's going to hate on you for succeeding the way that you want to succeed. But don't be that driver that hates on other people that succeeds the way they want to succeed. That's the difference between you and I. If you're that driver, you're not helping anybody. You're not even helping yourself. You're walking around thinking what you're doing is the only way to succeed in trucking. Somebody else isn't. That's the whole problem I have with all these comments. If you don't like what you see on the channel, you don't have to watch it. You can keep scrolling. But don't get in the comments and mess it up for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I understand everybody has opinions. But don't act like what I'm doing doesn't have some kind of value to somebody, because it does. I had a long talk with a good friend of mine the other day. I watched, he's a YouTuber, and he was at Prime. And now he's with an outside carrier. I'm not going to name him, but he's been a friend of ours, mine and Angel's, for a while. And he's been going through some stuff. And I can relate to him on that. When you get out here in this truck, things change. You become a little bit different of a person being out here. And he had all but just given up hope on everything. Don't do that before you even get started in this industry. Don't just give up hope. Like I said, there's people like me and Angel that are willing to help you. It ain't just on YouTube. It ain't just at Prime. There's plenty of great people out here in this world. Do not be afraid to ask a question. Do not be afraid to look at every single company and find out which one fits you best. Do not be afraid to watch this channel and not come to Prime. Okay? It's okay. Don't be afraid to not use my referral. It's okay. Okay? This channel's not for referrals. It's not for anything else but to help whoever's watching it get value out of it. If you guys are getting value out of what's going on this channel, then my job's done. Doesn't matter if it was a 5-minute video or a 30-minute video or a 40-minute video like this. This is gonna be one of the longest videos I've ever posted. But I'm being real with you guys. This is the real deal. If Prime's doing something I don't like, you'll know about it. There's plenty of videos on there. Just scroll through them. I've got videos saying Prime's not perfect. Priming training's not worth the money. I've got plenty of videos talking about what I don't like about Prime. And there's a lot of videos talking about what I love about Prime, because that's what's being real about. Some of you are just sitting back waiting on me to just say, Prime's the best. Come here. Don't ever worry about anything. It's the best company ever. But it's not. Right now, it's the best company for us. It's fitting our needs. It's fitting our goals. We're being successful the way we want to be successful. Not saying that won't change. But if it does change, guess what? You're not going to hear me bad talk Prime. You're not going to hear me badmouth Prime, because they've given us a world of opportunity here, and we've capitalized on it. I feel like we have. We've made the best of it, and God, thank God, we've been able to. But it doesn't mean it's a perfect company. My success doesn't mean that this company is perfect. You guys have to get that out of your head. I've never said that. The only company that's perfect is the one that works best for you. Doesn't matter if it's Prime or another company or being an owner-operator. Which is another thing for you guys in the comments. I'm not an owner-operator. I don't even own this truck yet. If you're running with a carrier and you got your truck leased on their carrier and you're running their DOT numbers and you're paying through them for your fixed costs, you're not an owner-operator. You're a truck owner and you're leased onto a carrier, and there's nothing wrong with that. Guys, stop looking at the black and white stuff. I mean, it's just crazy.
Stop putting labels on everything.
Exactly. Just because somebody pulls a reefer doesn't mean that they're any better than a dry van. And just because somebody pulls a dry van doesn't mean they're any better than a flatbed. Just because somebody pulls a flatbed doesn't mean they're any better than a box truck guy. I mean, everybody's out here to survive and thrive. We're all out here to make a good living. We're all out here to get everything we can get. Nothing is different. Nothing. Down from our needs, our wants, everything's the same. Just because there's a different name on the door, it's a different truck, or it's a different trailer, it doesn't matter. We're all out here to do the same thing, survive and thrive. You guys should start acting like it. And for all you old heads out here that have all this wisdom and all this knowledge and you're ready to kick it in because of the new generation, how about get out of the seat every now and then and help these guys back in and teach them something? Don't just sit there and watch them struggle and watch them fail. What kind of brotherhood is that? Like, no wonder nobody wants to be a part of that. And then you guys wonder why nobody wants us around anywhere. You guys walk around acting like you're pissed off at the world. You know, if trucking's so damn bad, why are you out here doing it? Come on, man. Like, I'm a young buck in the game, and I'm telling you that. Like, geez. But guys, that's all I got. That's enough rant. I know it was long, and I'm hoping it's useful, and I'm hoping you guys enjoyed it. I'm so glad Mama was in on with me. I'm sorry about the GoPro. I had to switch over to my iPhone because the GoPro cannot stay cooled down enough. But guys, thank you so much for everything. Even if you hate the channel and you don't like Prime, you hate Prime, and you don't like me, thank you for watching. I do appreciate all of your time. Even the naysayer comments, I appreciate all your time, because I do know you guys take time out of your day to do this. But I want to let you know, guys, if you need anything, just a question, all my contact info is always in the description. I'm there. If you can't get a hold of me, leave me a text message, leave me an email. Might take me a day or two. I'll get to you. I promise. Don't give up. Think about your goals before you come into this industry. Think about what you want to achieve. Think about what your itinerary is for trucking. Don't just do it just because you see a YouTube video. Don't just do it because you heard about your uncle trucking. Think about what it can give you. What can you get back out of this asphalt before you come do this? And research everything. Talk to tons of people. Do your homework. Don't just take what's on this channel to heart. Don't just take what's on the next channel to heart. Do your homework. So if that's not real enough for you, I don't know what is. This is as real as I get. So Guys, thank you so much for watching once again. Don't forget to check all the links down in the description. We got some good stuff down there. Facebook communities, Life360 groups. If you guys want to be on Life360, message me in the comments. I'll find a way to get it to you, or you can shoot me a text. I'll find a way to get you that code. We have hundreds of drivers on Life360 right now that we keep up with. The community is growing. I think our BigWheelZ page has over 600 members now. We started that back in like 2017, I think. We got a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on, so there's more to come. We're not done yet. I've got a lot of good videos coming out, and we're going to see you on the next one. So stay safe, stay driven, and stay loaded. Freight Skater and Mama out. You want to tell them bye?
Bye.
That's it? Bye. Bye, y'all.